And then we found the embassy, and then we hid there for about 2 hours, and then they ran away, and we caught the next flight home.
Didn't I say last week I was going to start muting you when we started the
show? And yet you didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I wanted to see.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday to all of you. Good to be back. Good to be here with all my friends. And this is episode 6 of Figure Action. It's episode 7 of Figure Action. Man, times.
He misses one. He misses one.
I missed one, and I'm behind. And I was thinking because now we have 6 people on the panel. So, yeah.
We could just retroactively make it 6.
We could.
Reboot. We'll do a reboot.
Because episode 2 kind of flew under the radar. We didn't have a plan for getting that up, but we apologized and we moved past. We ended up just moving to the live format. But yeah, so it's episode 7. We have our new member of the panel, Joe. Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, everybody.
So we'll get the introduction out of the way. We're Figure Action. We are a new podcast covering all different types of figures out there. Everything from SH Figuarts to Marvel Legends to Transformers of all shapes and sizes and varieties and more. You can find us here on YouTube every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Pacific. And you're also available on iTunes and Google Play and through Podbean. So if you can't listen to us live, you're more than welcome and encouraged to check us out there. So without further ado, let's go down the panel. First off, Adrian, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Had a pretty good week. Last weekend was really awesome. And yes, looking forward to this one before my own call starts.
Nice. I've had a pretty quiet one. Just work. Heading to Tokyo this coming Thursday with the family. First holiday in like 5 years. So,
I know you got to be excited. I'm excited for you.
Man,
I would see you for the week.
I'm so excited. Trying to like budget is hard. Like I've been trying to. It was we didn't plan it. It just sort of came up. So I've just been trying to save every cent I'm earning, and my wife's doing the same. And we're hoping we'll have enough. So we'll see how we go. So
you know what the irony is?
Yeah,
a lot of people go on ramen diets to save money, and when you're there,
that's right.
Are you going to make a pilgrimage to Mecca? Like the giant Gundam. The giant Gundam.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely a plan. Akihabara is a plan. Complex. I'm going to try and I'm there for 2 weeks, so I'm going to try and stream from a bunch of the toy shops. There's one in particular I really want to go to that's 7 stories of vintage robots. So
I'm supremely jealous.
Yeah. So I'm selling, I don't know, some people in Australia might have noticed I'm selling a bunch of MPs and all my legends to use the cash injection into SOC when I get there. Yeah. So that's pretty much been me. How you guys?
Awesome.
You're awesome, T-Man. Tell me about yourself.
Thank you. I'm pretty damn awesome, you know.
That was a segue.
Well, let's get to True Star Screamer here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I am doing pretty well. Had a very liberating week of leaving a job on my own volition. So.
Oh wow.
Yep. Fine. I put my resignation a couple weeks ago. And so this was my last day on the job on Wednesday, and it's just a great feeling of, it was on my terms. I start my new job up on Monday. I'm taking a couple days off, spending time with the little one.
Now, how did Chippendales take the news that you were leaving?
They asked me if I knew that guy like Patrick Swayze to come back since I took his spot.
They were pissed, but Gadget and the rest of the Rescue Rangers were okay.
Well,
did you glad wrap some toilet bowls before you left? Oh, you don't have glad wrap, saran wrap. Sorry,
we've got both.
Oh, do you? Oh, that's cool. The land of opportunity.
But yeah, no, I'm actually excited to get back of not dealing directly with people as opposed to just being some zombie over the phone. So yeah, I'm good.
Nice.
I'm good.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, I'm actually excited to get back of not dealing.
That was me. Sorry.
Oh, I thought I was experiencing a time warp.
I am so that this week was so nice it had to be said twice.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. That Star Screamer.
There's more beer to go.
I'm jealous of that. I should have around got some, but another night. Parts, how you doing, buddy?
You know that scene in Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade when he's fighting the Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword and they're in the boats and they're fighting each other and he's throwing dudes in the water and the boats are blowing up against other boats and people are dying and they finally get to the shore. And the dude jumps off and he says, "Ask yourself, why do you seek the cup of Christ?" And Indy says, "I'm not after the cup of Christ. I'm after my Father." I mean, the dude's like, "Oh, sorry about that, man. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good."
I've always wondered what was going through the guy's head who took the rope when all that was going on.
I mean, the whole scene is just this everybody's kicking each other's ass, and then they get to the end, and he's like, "Oh, you guys were wrong. I'm just here for my dad." He's like, "Oh, well, we good, right? We good." That's how I am.
I take that as good.
You weren't involved in a boat chase scene or anything like that.
I'd rather not say.
Oh, okay.
I bet Parts Former could rock a fez.
I saw him fight somebody in front of a propeller once. I mean,
were you there for that?
I was. It was in the parking lot of Hoyt's.
Was that a boat propeller or an airplane propeller? Because that could be another Indiana Jones moment there.
It was a list. It was Craig's list.
Oh, the black car. Yeah.
Then the orange car.
Was the guy you're fighting lubed up?
Not yet.
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, I didn't know there was gonna be two of y'all.
That's how I should have popped
Move on. Who else?
All right. So Joe, welcome aboard. How you doing? And
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, guys. My week was pretty stressful, but today I capped it off with we had a party at work, a bunch of crab, bunch of beer, some corn.
Sorry, did you say a bunch of crack?
Yeah, some of that too.
Good.
Dude, if I got crabs at work, that's a bad day for me.
Yeah, especially at Chippendales.
The only time it's okay to have crabs at work. Yeah.
That's that was Marianne Barry's career, was crack at work.
Cracking crabs.
Well, you are what you eat. Well,
literally, I am today.
And for those on the audio podcast, we've gone through what we collect. Just give us a quick rundown of what it is that you like to collect, since you're new to the show.
I am mainly Dragon Ball figure arts. Pretty much every single one that comes out. I have been dabbling into monster arts, if you can see it back there.
Mm-hmm.
Third-party Transformers. Hot anime girls. Articulated or not, doesn't matter.
Some statues going on back there, too.
Yeah, a lot of statues. DC stuff, mostly. A little bit of
that display is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you build that Dio yourself?
No, actually, that was Jason. Yeah, I can't remember his last name.
Lowry?
I'll probably have to look that up. No, it wasn't Jason Lowry. Young?
Yeah. Jason Young?
Yeah.
Good, real good dude. Real good dude.
Yeah, very good dude.
Yeah, he's
we
for anybody
collaborated back and forth a lot, and he really helped me out, and I'm pretty happy with it. Still a work in progress.
He did some dios that were featured in Image Comics. He actually had McFarlane's attention. He built a barn scene from The Walking Dead, and I believe it was in one of the books.
Cool.
Is a feature section. Real good dude on the Facebook groups. I highly recommend checking out his page. I believe it's called Diorama Mayhem. So check him out.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
It's
That's
almost the same as my page, Diarrhea Man.
I know we already asked T how he's doing. And I kind of touched base on myself. Had a good weekend. My girlfriend got a puppy, so we were busy all weekend playing with her, and had some of the best pizza in Baltimore. Matthew's Pizza. If anybody's in the area, I highly recommend checking them out. It's probably the closest I've had to New York pizza in Baltimore. It's in like the Patterson Park area.
I was going to say, we all know the best pizzas in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Well, all the best food is in New York, according to our buddy Robert DiGianni.
Yeah.
And it's in one of the chats I made his name. It's not delivery. It's DiGianni. So let's get into our hauls. I think everybody here, with the exception of Matt, had an interesting week. Adrian, what'd you get, man?
I got some good and bad. I got something I haven't opened yet. I'll open some stage. Start with the bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not what I was expecting. I got KFC's Blaster reissue, the new reissue. I never handled the original, so I have no basis of comparison. But it's plastic, all plastic, very hollow. Joints are okay, but it just feels like crap. So there's that. The little tape that comes in him is almost better. And I got this guy, the Gold Lightan, Bandai SH Figure Arts, nearly all die-cast, really nice. I put up a video of that. I love this. And the mystery meat, which I'll open throughout the video at some stage.
I looked up that Lighten thing. That's kind of interesting.
The fiction? It's wild. You got to eat acid to watch that.
Mystery meat.
Mystery meat. I'm going to open the mystery meat. Someone else go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Now we'll get the Star Screamer while you're opening that up.
So my week was a little slim pickings when it came to toys, but I know I was hoping to get one package today, but it didn't show, which I'll have to show for next week. But it's of a Reveltech. But I did get one coveted item, which is the Marvel Legends Silver Surfer.
Very nice.
Nice.
I lucked out. A local collector I commiserate with, a guy named Drew. He basically said, "Hey, I'm going to order 2 so I can save on shipping." And I'm like, "I'll buy it."
Is that Walgreens order?
Exactly. Which I heard they closed it and they've reopened it. And since I like to talk about deals to everybody, basically, if you want the Silver Surfer and you want to get it from Walgreens, just find another collector and just buy 2 or more, so you get the free, so you save on the shipping, because they were charging like $8 shipping.
Yeah, you might as well just get another figure at that point. And to be honest, like you could easily just even take it to hold on to it. It'll. Well, I'm just saying, like, it'll get its value back.
If it's like the other Walgreens stuff, in a couple weeks they'll be all over it.
True.
I mean, I still occasionally run into a Punisher. I still see 2 Storms. I mean, Walgreens, when they get the stuff, they do get it out. It's just these people. A lot of people are just impatient and they want to get it now, which I also can totally understand. But then I get my Walgreens right now. There's got to be at least 15 Medusa figures.
Yeah.
Nobody wants her though.
You did.
Well,
now, do you follow Can of Beams at all? Because he's working on a flight stand for that.
I do follow Can of Beams. Since he sells it pretty much through eBay, which I don't have an eBay account.
What?
Because I don't want to spend even more money.
No, he'll usually put up items right on his website. He'll post the time and date, and then they go quick.
Yeah, I'm also very lucky. I've read there's a great page about Marvel Legend quality control issues, and the Silver Surfer has been all over him. Where there's been people who've had 2 left thighs, 2 right thighs, and my QC is pretty good on him. a little loose on the ankles, but
So he's knocking you out with those American thighs. That was a terrible joke for non-AC/DC fans.
So the one Reeb the Great got, the wrist falls out. Like the hand doesn't stay attached.
That's how my classic Wolverine is. The card-backed one, the wrist just falls right out.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say it was a rushed Marvel Legend. I mean, I still can find flash parts, plastic flashing on them, even on the hands.
Yeah.
I've seen ones where like a finger wasn't painted. It's kind of crazy, the QC issues, but I am pretty lucky that mine's pretty good. I mean, he's on the Pizza Spidey body. My buddy Drew, as mentioned, he's also a customizer, and so I was saying, take this, put this head on a Morbius, and we might try to paint that one up and turn him into a Destro.
No, that's the 2099 body, right?
This? Yeah, it's the Pizza Spidey.
Well, he's too big to be the Pizza Spidey.
No, you're right. It's like the Bullseye. It's more like the Bullseye, just because it's a little more slender.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, but Silver Surfer, can't you just get like one of those bodycon model like figure arts things and just paint them silver, and that would be probably like the best Silver Surfer figure out there? Yeah,
and then if you know somebody with a 3D printer, print up a board.
I'd still screw it up. Even though it's one color, I'd still mess it up, but you could probably do it.
The only thing I would say is if you then printed up a board, you'd have to put like foot hooks into it, because that's the one thing the Marvel Legends of putting pegs. And that's probably my biggest criticism is I wish it had more pegs on the board and a place to plug a stand in.
Man, it'd be awesome is if they made or if you modded it to have like little earth magnets in the feet. Like if you put them in the peg holes and made a metal board. Yeah. That would be awesome, because then he could be anywhere on it.
Everything.
That could work, actually, because it's hollow down here.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on that.
You've got the professor brainstorming now.
So, Adrian, it looks like you got your package opened up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Is that the Mech Fans toys?
Yeah, look, it's infamous. People are hating on it because they're copycat company. Yeah. It's their original design. I see what they're going for, because they're going for the Diaclone thing. It's not really a Transformers thing. But you know what? I like it better than KFC Blaster. It's good. Awesome. It's got clicky joints. It looks awesome. The scale. So here is Iron Factory Scorponok. Can you see that scale? So, I mean, he's a little guy anyway. But if I get... we'll go to someone else. I'll try and find something to compare it to eventually.
Right on. Parts, did you get anything at all? I know you said it was slim.
I did. I got Iron Factory's Red Alert. I got him in a raffle.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Pretty cool. And let me see. I picked up, you probably see, for those watching the video, see T playing with this in the background, but I got
I'm jealous.
Goku, a Saiyan Raised on Earth, SH Figure Arts. And with that, I got I got his power pole and his big stick. Boom. And let's see what else.
The coffee stirrer.
The coffee stirrer. Joe here ordered two of the SDCC turtles. So one was for me. So I got in my pack. It's might be the same one you already watched, T-Man review. Go check out his review if you want to see them in action.
Did you fix Donatello?
I haven't really messed with him yet. If I can't fix him, it's not the end of the world. You can't really notice it.
What was Donatello's problem?
The front part of the shell was a little crooked. It looks like if you can bend the inside or the upper torso, you might be able to fix it, like realign it.
Mine's actually a little off too.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people are like that.
Someone check the movie. Maybe
it's accurate.
It could be.
And then I can't
watch any turtle media for a good 48 hours now. I'm still in I'm still in recovery of that freaking episode 1.
Let's see, and then I got the Figma Dead or Alive Kasumi.
Very nice. Is that the only? Is it the only Dead or Alive one that you have so far?
She might be the only one available so far. But
that's interesting. That's her. Is that her Dead or Alive 1 costume?
It's her Player 2 costume.
Okay.
So that's why that was the gimmick for this version. It was the C2 Player 2 version. I don't know what the older version looked like. I don't know. This one caught my eye just because I like the cut of her boots.
Yes, I was gonna say that was quite a pair of boots on her.
Fun fact for anybody that didn't see any videos on this chick that the breasts are articulated.
Oh my god! Well, that's kidding me. For Dead or Alive.
When you have her in her hunched over, she gets parts to make her do this pose, which is her victory pose. But you actually pull the whole chest down a little to fill it out even more.
You know,
when you sit her up straight, you push them back in.
I'm surprised they didn't put them on springs like a bobblehead.
You can do that,
man.
You know, how's that joint holding up there? Is it?
You'd be surprised.
I demand a review.
You'd be surprised how firm it is.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I remember when Dead or Alive first came out on the PlayStation, and I'm sure so does Pepperidge Farms, but Pepperidge Farms. But I just remember the setting. You actually you could set the gravity level on those suckers.
No, you set your age, and the higher you made your age, yeah. If you made yourself 99, they were like this.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then the very
PlayStation 1
is this.
No, it was on Dreamcast. I think Dead or Alive 2 was on Dreamcast first, and then it came out on PlayStation 2 a little after that. Then Microsoft bought the exclusivity for it for a while.
I rocked Dead or Alive 3. I'll tell you that right now.
That was a good one.
What's her name? The purple-haired ninja girl. That was my character.
Ayame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, she was in Ninja Gaiden.
I liked playing as Zack in his Teletubby costume. He actually had a Teletubby costume.
I know, dude. I remember he had the little glowing thing. It would actually the thing would glow on his head.
That was more so in response to T, because T was like, "No, I didn't." But if they ever make a Figma Zack in the Teletubby costume, that would be the perfect gift for me.
We'll know how to say. The last thing I got was the Transformers Devastation on Xbox One. I never picked it up. I rented it for a day and played it and never got it again. But now I'm a cheap bastard, and $15 was apparently my price point.
Well, it's good to get it because with the way digital distribution is, Activision's lost the license, and getting a used or a new physical copy is the only way to play the game now.
So no hope for a sequel then, huh?
Unfortunately, no. And, it sucks because that game was a letter of love. They got Vince DiCola to do the music. And that's actually why he was at MagFest. He's actually done a bit of video game music. He was at MagFest this year. I actually got to meet him, and I bought a LP of the Transformers movie soundtrack. Michael Bell and Greg Berger reprised roles. They got Peter Cullen. I want to say they got Frank Welker as well.
I think
they got the whole crew.
Yeah, I know they got Corey Burton for Shockwave. So
was Victor Carolio in there, the narrator?
I don't think he was.
Like he narrated something.
And they actually recorded their lines. I don't know if you knew this, but they actually recorded their voice work on top of Chris Latta's grave.
On that note, Joe,
not just because they couldn't find Casey Kasem's.
Counting down the top 40 causes of my death. Number 1, getting pissed off in the studio. If anybody's never seen the video, there's a fantastic video of Casey Kasem kirking out over someone's dedication to their late dog. It's fantastic. So just do a YouTube search for Casey Kasem loses it. Don't worry, we'll still be here when you get back. Joe, what did you get this week, man?
Pretty light week, unless I can go back for the 3 weeks I wasn't on, but I got a couple pops in the mail from Amazon, and I did get this Iron Factory Jetfire.
Very nice.
Oh, nice.
Which I just started playing with. I like it. That's pretty much it this week.
T, is that what you got too? That's what you got too, isn't it?
Oh,
is it?
Nah.
Yeah.
The new guy to ruin the surprise. You can edit that.
Oh, that was his mystery box that he was talking about.
I saw the look on his face.
It's like when two ladies show up in the same dress.
Yeah. Except it's dress fire.
What else you get?
That's it.
Oh, that's it? Oh, you didn't get your turtles?
I got my turtles, but that was last week. Like I said, I could go back. I got turtles. I got
Just
a bunch more
don't
Iron
sing.
Factory. I showed you guys this guy. He's completed.
Hey,
Wait, are those Minions pajama pants?
No, Maryland Crab.
Okay, I couldn't see. I saw yellow.
For those
So
of you
speaking-
listening at home, I believe we've got a figurized model here.
Yeah, so this is the master grade figurized Goku. And speaking of articulated body parts, no, not that. It's right here. This bicep is articulated. I mean, check that out.
That's amazing.
That's funny.
For anybody that can't
That's
see at
awesome.
home, when you bend this Goku's arm, it actually flexes the bicep. That is some really cool engineering.
That is
That's
the
really
Scott
cool.
Steiner of action figures.
So he's just gonna stay in this like guns out pose
Oh, you have to.
forever.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Did you get your Goku yet?
No, that was his that I just showed on camera.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Parts is still holding him hostage.
Maybe tomorrow.
Never give it back.
I wish I knew Kevin was kind enough to grab them, because I would have just canceled my Amazon order. Because I'm excited for that one. I have to wait until September.
You're going to be waiting a while. I'm never going to order another Figuarts from Amazon unless it's already in stock.
I have a fun story about what happened with one of the Digivolving Spirits, where they just basically told me, hey, we don't know when we're going to have this in stock. And I had to order from somebody in Japan. And then they kept delaying the order and delaying the order and delaying the order. They said they shipped it, and I never had a date. And about a month and a half went by, so I just bought it from Barnes and Noble, and it showed up.
That's basically me with Sunstreaker and Amazon Japan.
What? Man, my Amazon Japan experiences have been I order it and it's here in 3 days.
Yeah.
So, T, what did you get this week, man?
What did I get? Well, I found this Prime Master Bludgeon, aka Quintus Prime.
Ooh.
And if you do get Goku before you get your Amazon one, keep the pre-order, because you can sell it to somebody else, because I hear he's hard to get.
Andrew Griffin, who is the head of Toyco, he was saying that Bandai greatly underestimated the demand for this figure. They're basically, this is kind of like like you said in your video, an entry level figure where they're selling it for less than it normally would go for.
Yeah, everybody wanted it.
Yeah, it's
which I
like
think
that
was really cool of them, because a lot of people missed out on the early, the first Goku, the normal Goku. So for them to come out and say $35, and kind of. It's not so much to get people into it. It's really to kind of like, for all those people that missed out on it, here's your opportunity.
Yeah, not even that. There's a lot of people that just don't know what Figuarts are all about. And
I never thought I would pick up a Figuarts Dragon Ball character, but for $35, yeah, here we go.
Well, that's like what happened with the Pacific Rim with the robot spirits.
I'm guessing too. They probably only cut the lesser sellers, because when he went on in stock at Big Bad, they actually had stock to post for sale on the website.
Huh.
So they filled all their pre-orders and then had extra left over. Just fun fact.
Yeah. So, Adrian, you never had a Figuarts?
No, never.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
In fact, yeah. I've had some 1,000 toys, and I've got more 1,000 toys on the way. And Sentinel, I mean, same company, really.
Yeah.
But never Figuarts. I did order a Bodycon, the new 2.0 grey one, just to put with my 1,000 toys stuff because it looks a little futuristic. I'm going to like dye the head. But yeah, haven't gotten it yet.
Huh. Wow. I wouldn't even know. If I had to suggest like one to start with, I wouldn't even know where I'd go. I guess
Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man's a good one. That's a good one-off.
The Street Fighter guys, those are good
Yeah.
articulation and look great.
Yes,
The fighter body.
Yeah.
they
I
are the
want
best.
those NECA turtles, those ones you guys got. Fuck, they're nice.
Well, I wish I was part of the you guys on that.
Me too.
You know what?
I got the touch.
I'm still happy with my Revoltex. Thank you very much.
Wait, can't you still get those? They're nice
Revoltex?
too.
I
Yeah, the Revoltex
love
are nice,
these.
but the
I
NECA
love
ones.
these turtles.
Yeah.
Can't you still get the NECA ones?
I think they're sold out pretty much anywhere. I'd be paying aftermarket prices if I did.
Yeah, I saw a set. There's one set on Taobao, but it's like equivalent of $200.
Yeah. That's too rich, especially with the rumors that they might be doing a run for Target.
They have to. You can't spend $10K on a mold and not do anything with it.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that they were actually contractually limited to how many they could actually produce.
Right.
And they could only sell them at conventions.
Yeah.
But where there's money, I'm guessing they'll figure it out.
And I think Nickelodeon has something to do with that.
Yeah, they do because Playmates doesn't want anybody on their turf. That's like the rumors around like why the Voltron stuff is so difficult to license right now.
Which is a damn shame.
Yeah, but Playmates has to they don't have that many properties and they need to defend what they do have.
T-Man's got some stuff.
He's saying he's saying he has stuff without saying he has stuff.
Yeah.
Are you saying half my stuff is yours?
Yeah. Half of all your shit. But I found this Negan for I found this Negan for less than $4 at Walgreens. Series
Nice.
10.
And then
if this Negan can lean as far back as Jeffrey Dean Morgan does when he talks.
I doubt it. It doesn't look like he has any type of ab articulation.
Oh, that must be McFarlane.
Yeah,
it is. But he has everything else, it looks like. But from Matt, the bot supplier, or my bot supplier, he sent me this Iron Factory Jetfire.
I've seen it.
Witness the
I've never
Cygnus.
seen that. That's awesome.
This is brand new information.
Yeah. So y'all gonna have to keep making sure I'm paying attention because I'm gonna be nail this out. I waited till just now.
Is that a test shot?
It's distracting me too.
It should be the final version.
All right.
T-Man's not cool enough for test shots yet.
No.
T-Man, I learned the hard way. You gotta mute when you're opening packages.
Look, man, it was awful.
Well,
yeah, I didn't even think about it.
So T, was that a gift from the bot supplier, or is that one that he's letting you look at?
It's a gift. So I'm super grateful. Thank you. He's gonna watch this. If he's not watching it right now. He's incognito though.
I know what you almost said.
Yeah, that was fun.
I know where you're going.
You can say it.
He can say it. We can't say it.
So is that
he was gonna say incognigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny thing is he's not black.
So has everyone got everything? Anyone got
Not even close.
What am I,
There's so much
liver?
stuff I want.
Come on, show us your stuff. Show us what you got.
Well, I'll run down the list real quick. I got the SH Figuarts Red and Green Rangers, the SDCC exclusives. So these guys come with the Austin St. John and Jason David Frank heads. they're pretty nice. They're the older Figuarts bodies, but it's these beat the pants off the Legacy Rangers, and
They look great with the rest of the team.
yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice when those roll around. They can get Billy, Trini, Zach, and who am I? Miss Kimberly.
How could you forget Kimberly?
I don't know. That's that's definitely a set I'm looking to complete, and then I'll probably give if anybody knows my buddy Thor, he's a big Rangers fan, and he's got a ton of Zords, but he doesn't have any Rangers. So, Garrett, if you're out there listening, I'll have that set for you, buddy. I also got the Marvel Legends 2-pack of the Hulk Buster and the Possessed Hulk from Age of Ultron, which I always wanted the Hulk Buster, and I have kind of a hate relationship with the Build-A-Figures because people steal parts, and Hasbro likes to short pack figures, so it's cool to finally have this Hulk Buster. And I really only want 90s X-Men and MCU figures, so it's smart on Hasbro's behalf to say, oh, well, let's mix everything together, so you have to buy characters you might not necessarily care about. But the unequal distribution really kind of is a sour note for me.
Spider-Man?
I've got several Spider-Men, mostly MCU Spider-Man, but I would probably get like a regular. I'd probably get Pizza Spidey. I need to get him because when I flesh out those 90s X-Men, and I'd get the villains too. Like I have Sabretooth. I'd get a 90s Magneto. I'd get a Blob. I'd get Toad. If they do a 90s Mystique, I have to have that.
Mystique is rumored to be one of the next Marvel Legends, and they haven't done a Toad since the first line of Marvel Legends.
I know, and that's kind of a shame. He's kind of a a staple for the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and that Gambit looks so good. The one that's coming out, I got to get that. What else did I get this week? Oh, I got the other. Where's he hiding? The other TFCon Toronto exclusive from MMC, which is the Machine Wars Optimus Prime. Anybody that knows me, I'm a big Optimus Prime collector. And one of the things that I love about this is it comes with the pre-tooled gun that Roller's going to have when MMC does theirs. And I just love these gaudy color schemes. I love the airbrushed blue on the chest. I put an Autobot sticker on there myself. The olive drab green. The purple on the back that just pops. This is definitely a figure that doesn't look good in pictures, but in hand, it's just so ridiculously awesome. And I'm happy to have both him and Thunderclash now. Thunderclash is pretty dope. I love that color scheme. And last but not least, I got what my buddy Deluxe Baldwin affectionately dubbed Prom King Optimus Primal. And this was the SDCC exclusive. I was happy that I was able to get one off of Hasbro Toy Shop. I think he's really good. I don't like the stickers. I don't know why they would do stickers on a Beast Wars homage, and they're those stained, crappy paper stickers that are peeling off. Also, repro labels, instead of reinventing the wheel, just do replacement vinyl stickers for these. Instead of putting gaudy details that nobody wants, just do screw covers and vinyl replacement stickers, and I think the world will be a better place. And then non-collectible wise, I got Infinity War on 4K Blu-ray, and it's a fantastic looking film at home. So that does it for me this week.
Nice.
So
cool.
So yeah, let's get into some topics. See what we have first. So we're gonna start off with some Figuarts topics here. We're gonna talk about some DBZ stuff here. We've got the release of the SH Figuarts Great Saiyaman. Matt and Joe, I think you guys are going to be the best ones to tackle this. Let's hear about it.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those kind of surprised me. I did not think we would get a great Saiyaman. There's a lot of people out there that are kind of like, where's my GT figures? Where's my Super Saiyan 4? But keep coming out with great Saiyaman and Mr. Satan's. These obscure kind of characters. I love it. I'll buy every single one of them.
Yeah, and those joke, the joke characters like that. It's especially for, I guess they don't remold a whole lot, but I mean, I don't know. It seems like those, yeah, like you said, they're reaching for some characters here when there's so many more they can get. Before that, but Mr. Satan has been the one that I've been wanting for a long time, so I was happy about that. Like you said, the Great Saiyaman, that was out of left field. Like you'd have thought, with the lack of females on the roster, you'd get a Chi-Chi or a Videl, But whatever, man. They make them, we'll buy them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, have they even made Marin yet in any way, shape, or form? I figured, that would be a good pack-in figure for an 18.
Yeah, and she might actually rival your the last figure you were showing there, Matt. I'm not familiar with that line, but what was her name?
Oh, the Kasumi?
Yeah, she might rival her in the chess department. Marin. Yeah.
Well endowed.
Yeah.
We are getting an Android 21 though, right?
Yeah, we are from Fighter
right.
Z.
I'm excited about that too.
They're doing her transformed form.
And that's what I think is cool. It's great about it is, these are characters that we just did not expect. You would think that maybe you'd get finish out the rest of the Z storyline with Boo, and we did get the Majin Vegeta, which a lot of people was asking for, but
Majin Buu.
But the problem with Majin Buu is you've got how many different forms of him that you can release a figure of,
and the Kid Boos.
To come out with we're getting Gotenks later this year, I think. Great Saiyaman now, so yeah, I love it. Keep them coming.
There's no shortage of characters to draw from, and not only that, but like, and I was having this conversation the other day where a lot of people complain that how many Gokus do we have, how many Vegetas do we have, but the reason they do that, and we're all here that collect this line as guilty as anybody else, because on one hand my brain is like, that's enough Vegetas, we have enough iterations of the character, let's get some other characters released. But then the other half of my brain is saying, where is my Vegeta with the pink Badman shirt?
Yes.
That's what I wanted.
Did they ever make a Bulma figure art?
Yeah, she's
coming
up soon.
Yeah.
But there's
Dragon
a pattern
Ball.
To their release too. They jump from Z to Super to Dragon Ball, and then they cycle through that. I was gonna
say, I just noticed another pattern then, because then they announced the figure out for Bulma. Her voice actress died. Then they announced Mr. Satan, and now he's.
If you don't say it, it's not true. You just say it.
No, things happen in threes.
Hey, Dave.
Things happen in threes.
I get what you're saying.
Greatly.
Oh man, that was a terrible joke.
I'm ending the broadcast. Say goodnight.
It's over.
It happened in threes. They did the narrator died. The Dragon Ball Z narrator died. The guy.
And now we get a Goku that we never thought we'd ever get. Oh god, if this happens, you're all gonna kill me.
Oh boy.
And Mozawa is like 100 years old, so yeah, please. She's been around for a long time.
I'm getting the Goku, and I'm curious to see if this is going to pique my interest at all in getting more. What's the you guys are big into the Z fig arts. What was the biggest element that attracted you to collecting them?
Well, I mean, if you have to love the show. I mean, I think if you don't really love the show and you don't have that appreciation behind it, you maybe won't get into it as much as maybe we have. Yeah. But they are great figures. So if you're just an action figure junkie,
Yeah.
They are great pieces. And I think, when it comes to a company like Tamashii Nations, they do a great job with the anime stuff. Fantastic. It's very, very accurate. With some of the real life, when they try this, like to capture a real person's face, like you've seen with the Avengers figures, they just don't look right. So they got that going for them, and they've all been really, really great, pieces. Even the early ones, before they went to the new body style and everything. I mean, they've all been really good.
I was going to say, the thing I noticed, and I see it in everybody's displays, and, I'm a big Transformers collector, and, also do Marvel. And the thing I notice about Marvel and comic book and Transformers displays is that a lot of the characters are in very stoic poses. And everyone that I know who has a Dragon Ball display, they always have the figures in dynamic poses. And I think, to me, that's one of the most appealing things, is that the characters themselves don't look right in static poses.
Yeah.
And they're always like posed in an iconic stance. And I think the thing about, and I don't have any experience with the band Presto. I know T does a bit. But the thing about the figure arts is that they fall into dynamic poses very easily. And I think that lends very well for an action figure line. I think that's really attractive to them.
And it backs it up in the show too, because like you go back to Great Saiyaman, it's a character that he's very on the nose, and he's kind of making fun of the whole, what he's trying to be, and
he's the Sentai parody almost.
And he does the goofy poses and everything. Yeah. So when we get this figure, all of us are going to put, we're going to take pictures of all these goofy poses from the show, and it's, it really works. And a lot of them come with, I don't know if you can see good enough, but a lot of them come with effects pieces. So you'll have like an energy effect, you may have a blast effect.
And that's what I was going to add in, actually, was that if you do start to dabble in Dragon Ball figures, it can be a bit of a crapshoot, because you take a figure like Majin Vegeta that has a couple different faces, he's got a couple different hands, but that's it. And he's roughly the same price retail as Goku Black, which comes with every damn thing under the sun. He comes with an alternate, the Super Saiyan Rose head. He comes with alternate hands, 3 different faces for both forms. He comes with 2 parts effects, a blade and his charging Kamehameha.
Can I stop you for a second there? Did you say Rose?
Yes, that's what it's called.
But it's kind of the same thing, with Transformers. These companies will come out, you'll make a mold, and then you'll get, and some of them are more guilty than others, you'll get 3 repaints, 4 repaints. And you have to think that kind of pays, that just puts money in the bank, and it kind of pays for future projects coming down the line. So Figure Arts probably does the same thing. They figure, hey, we can release a Vegeta. It's basically a repaint if you think about it. And it's not going to come with any crazy accessories, and that money goes in the bank. And then maybe that's why we're getting a Great Saiyaman.
Yeah. More Rose.
One thing I wanted to add is every day I own this Goku, the more flexible I find out that it is, or the more posable I find out it is. Whereas it feels like at first it can't bend this way or bend that way, but then I found out it can. And I've been just messing around with this pose all night.
Yeah, I know that's my first Dragon Ball figure, or Dragon Ball Z figure. And T, I know it's yours. Matt and Joe, obviously you guys have a lot of them. So T, do you think this is going to open up the gates? Do you think now you need a Vegeta?
Oh, I definitely want Frieza at least.
Yeah. Like I'm
going to start with Frieza probably.
For me, he's going to go on like with my video game stuff, but I feel like I need a Vegeta and a Frieza and a Piccolo.
Well, there is rumors that they are trying to get Goku into Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that's been going on for quite some time, and they did announce that Fighter Z is coming to the Switch. So
it's not already out?
Not on the Switch.
Is the demo
out? It was already out.
The demo's out.
Demo might be. I'd have to go through the store and see. I finally beat God of War last night. I've only had that since launch day. Yeah, I know. I've been avoiding even talking about it because I didn't want anybody to spoil me. Fantastic game. It's my favorite game of the year, hands down and now.
That's me and Yakuza.
Yeah.
I just found out that they're putting the Telltale Walking Dead on the Switch finally.
Yeah, the complete series.
Yeah.
Then
Or at least the final season.
Yeah. And they have to do the complete series. I think it was on Wii U.
I don't think it ever made it to Wii U.
Let me double check.
Yeah, I wanted it to be on there, but I definitely want to get it on Switch now that I know it's coming on Switch.
Survival Instinct came out on the Wii U. That's where I was mixed up.
That's the thing with Nintendo. You buy the latest system, and you can get all the games that everyone played last year.
The Walking Dead series game did come out on the Wii U as a download. It never got a box copy, but according to Wikipedia, yeah, they came out.
Oh, it did?
Yep.
I don't remember that.
Yep. But yeah, I'm excited for Spider-Man coming out in a few weeks. That was my main motivation for beating God of War. I need to finish this so I can move on to Spider-Man. All right, so
when is the release date on Spider-Man?
Spider-Man September 7th, which is a Friday.
Oh,
so
damn, that's close.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and take off that day if I can. So, another note we have in here too is we've got Master Roshi coming out, and there's also a note in here about Bulma getting delayed. Matt, did you want to talk about that at all?
Let me see. Is that the note at the bottom? See, I'm reminding myself what it is. So this. A lot of this goes in part with the Tamashii Nation's Bluefin tour that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of these figures, the rumor on the street is a lot of these figures got reallocated to the tour, and I guess some dates got bumped around. And the benefit was that apparently Roshi and Boo showed up at the tour when they weren't even scheduled to release yet, and people were able to get their hands on them early. Kevin had said that he had seen rumors that Bulma was going to be there as well, but I did not see any pictures of her or seen any reviews, so I don't think she did make it. But
they have another stopper too, right?
I don't know.
Tour. She might pop up.
But as of this recording, the last stop that I'm aware of was the DC Otakon stop. And a lot of figures got rerouted to this because I guess the demand was so overwhelming for people on site actually coming to the event that a lot of shops got shortchanged. But that's what's going on there. As for Bulma being delayed, I'm not sure if that had any effect on that or not, but hopefully not. I haven't seen any release dates change, at least not on my pre-order. But I don't know. Either way, I know a lot of people have been waiting for a Bulma for a long time, but it's odd though. It's not the Bulma I would have expected them to pick. The design for her is, if Joe I think can agree or can verify that, is that design for Bulma the only ever showed up in the end credits of the show? Is that correct?
The end credits, and it was in the manga. I don't know if I have it or not, but
I guess they were. She's meant to be the Dragon Ball Bulma, so they weren't going to do the Cougar Bulma from later in this show, later in the series.
I would have guessed if that it would have been the Namek Bulma.
Yeah, that was probably one of the, I guess, more prominent. At least in the versions of Dragon Ball Z I've always seen, where Bulma had a pretty big arc was on Namek. I'm kind of shocked that they're not doing a version of her there.
Yeah.
All right. So moving to a listener question early on, especially since Joe is new here. The question comes from our buddy Nathan Simmons. Shout out to Nate. And it's, how did we all meet? And probably should have done this before jumping into the Dragon Ball discussion, but yeah, I guess I can kind of kick this one off because I think me meeting most everybody on here kind of stems through T-Man. I met T on the TFW boards as one of the sane individuals there. And we got to talking back and forth. We were actually working in the same area. And at the time we were hunting Amiibo, and there were a lot of Generations figures that were coming out at the time, and we were kind of keeping an eye out for one another at this Columbia Toys R Us. One of the ones that I remember the most was when Combiner Wars Megatron was coming out. We were all kind of like swarming over that area, and Amiibo was another one too. We were constantly on the hunt for Amiibo, and it kind of led us to meeting up, to doing exchanges, and we both were kind of trying to make sure we weren't weird, but we had some awkward meetups at the Columbia Toys R Us, and kind of formed a friendship out of that, and got to
you
talking.
found Mega Man Amiibo for me.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones that we were really both excited about. And there's near where I live, there was a Walmart. I think you found it through Brickseek, if I remember correctly. And you're like, hey, check out the Ordnance Road Walmart. And I ended up going up there and finding a couple Mega Man Amiibo, and met up, ended up hanging out. And then we started doing some lunches together and chatting it up through Facebook Messenger. And we've been pretty good friends for about four going on 5 years now. Then as far as Matt goes, we met up on TFW as well, and it was like one of the first meetups that got organized. Matt was a key component there. Started following me on Twitter. We were going back and forth on Twitter, and Joe and Dave. Joe I met through Matt at a meetup, and Dave I met through T-Man. Then Adrian, you happened into a chat, a group chat.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert D threw me in a group chat, and he gave me no background information. I knew none of you. I think the story essentially went. I sent him something fucked up, like I do every once in a while, and he's like, just adds me in this chat and then messaged me back, and he's like, "You'll fit right in." So I kept going along those lines, thinking, this is what the chat's about. I'll fit right in. I offended a lot of people that day.
Yeah, that sounds like when I joined Brian D-Bag. His screen name is D-Bag Robot Gang. He was like, "Hey, I'm in a group of other toy hunters that do YouTube. Like, you want to join?" And I'm like, "Okay." Then he put me in there, and then he rarely showed up. So I'm like, "All right, now I'm in."
That was the same with Robert. Yeah.
I believe I got into that chat.
Yeah, you were in that chat. That's how I started hanging out with you.
Yeah,
I think you were one of the few people who.
I got your sense of humor.
Yeah. But it was funny. Robert threw me in there and then just disappeared. So I started just tagging him all the time. If anyone had a name anywhere near Di Gianni or any name that sounded slightly Italian, I would at him and say, "Are you related to at Robert Di Gianni? Any relation to?" Yeah, I still do it.
Good times.
Yeah, it was good. I got to meet Zero, and and then we swiped right a few times. It was good.
Don't let Alexa hear that. But yeah, no, that's it was a very interesting time. Matt and Joe, I know you guys are pretty much lifelong friends.
Middle school, hadn't it been, Joe? About fifth grade?
Yeah, something
50
like that.
years?
Something like
50
that.
Quite a long time.
One of a vivid memory I have is in art class where he and I made paper mache Star Wars vehicles.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
I made a AT-AT and he made an ATST, and I can't remember what I had for breakfast 2 days ago, but I can remember that pretty clearly.
Yeah, that was back when I loved Star Wars and wanted to meet George Lucas.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
you
how
want to
about
meet him
now?
anymore?
What'd you say, Jordan?
I was gonna say you don't want to meet him anymore.
He switched gears. He's a Star Trek guy now.
You know what? Actually, related to that though, when it comes to meeting anyone like a comic book artist or a voice actor, an actor, a movie star, that's just a dude. You know, I don't really get too excited about that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. They say never meet your heroes, but I've had some good and bad experiences doing it. I mean, I got to meet Billy D, and that was a good experience for me.
There's someone random at my front door. Excuse me.
Yeah. So we'll get into.
Join us.
And this is when the gunshot goes off.
Yeah.
So
Craigslist mishap.
So I'm surprised that you built the AT and not a snow speeder to go along with it. Or are you guys just doing the theme of walkers?
I think it was just a theme of walkers, and I think they had a lot of the cardboard tubes. So that kind of lent itself to the design pretty easily.
You just want to say mine's bigger.
Mine was big.
No, I think mine was bigger.
I just had a very cool experience.
Oh?
It was fast.
I saw, yeah. So I'm just in my garage, which is like the toy room. So I look out onto the driveway and I can see the front door. And I saw something bright, like a person, go towards my front door. And you sort of can't see them once they're at the front door. So I exit here. I go up. I look around the corner. I say, "Can I help you?" And before I said it before I sort of looked at who it was, expecting that if it's someone I knew, they'd laugh. And if it's someone I didn't know, I could help them. Anyway, so it's a lady in a fucking, like, those jumpsuit rompers? Is that what they're called? It's like a jumpsuit, like pants at the top that's connected. It's all fucking bright red like Santa Claus. She takes one look at me, leaps in the air, and bolts back down the driveway.
Oh,
That's
man.
my story.
Was that going to be a robbery? Is that what happened? Did you just scare off a burglar, a romper burglar?
I think she went to the romper burglar. I think she had like a booty call and she went to the wrong address.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you live near a Hoyt's or work?
Well, Hoyt's here is a cinema, but no.
Yeah.
Here too.
Oh, it is there too?
Yeah, that was
where people go to fuck.
Well, there's a hotel in the shopping complex.
Oh, okay.
Go listen to the old episode of Figure Action. We go into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I didn't reach the bottom of the popcorn bucket. Okay.
He didn't have to.
No.
He didn't have to go all the way down.
Did you drop a hot dog? Oh no.
So did you yell at her to come back in about an hour or so, or she's gone?
I just thought it was funny. I just sort of started laughing there. I thought, I'll get back to the podcast. But
fucking hour or so, get her on, put her there, get her headset.
It was one of the funniest things that's happened to me in a long time. It was really weird. She was older than me.
She collect that like STDs. She can tell us about her collection.
Absolutely. Yeah, the clap. She's older than me, but she looked tidy. But fuck that! What's that Santa Claus outfit? Anyway, where were we?
Tidy.
Yeah, she was tidy.
I think we just have Dave. I've never heard the story of how you and T met.
T-Man and I technically have never met face to face, but we've known of each other since like 2005.
Yeah, around that time, or maybe earlier.
The Great Battle of Cybertron.
Yeah.
It is
the
year 2005.
Actually, it was before 2005. Yeah. I was like 23. Oh God. Anyway, it was on T-Fans way back when, and I was just Starscreamer, no true Starscreamer, and we were just literally on that site, just people who posted on that site. And then, since there was internet drama, there was another website called Seacon Swamp. These were old Zeta boards. And then we were on that.
I missed that one.
Oh, you weren't on this? You weren't on the swamp? Okay.
Just TF Eno.
And then there was another group called Transformer Fans in Name Only, which was cool, and then
stopped being cool.
I won't get into details on that. But then we were just talking to each other on Facebook because I left there, and then he started saying, "Hey, man, by the way, I'm doing a review." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And then we actually started talking and realized that, well, I realized that he's a cool guy. I think he's still trying to figure me out, but
Yeah, he's a weirdo. Suckers.
and that's pretty much it. We've just kind of like known of each other and really got to know each other the last couple of years. And then I got pulled into a group chat with you one time, Zero, and then rest of these fuckers, I don't know.
Well, a lot of people kind of get introduced to my affinity for sending memes and creating memes.
Mm.
And
my wife loved that last one you made.
Which was the last one I made?
I can speak Spanish for you.
Yeah.
Oh yes, where it puts you on Dirk Diggler.
Oh yeah.
I used to share all of your memes with Starscreamer, and he would be like, Zero sent that to you, didn't he? But then I was like, y'all need to just know each other.
Yeah.
And you make them so fast. How do you do this?
I have an app called what's it called? It's called Cut Me In, and you can actually, you can cut people's heads out, and
best 99 cents you ever spent.
Yeah. So if you can see here, there's I have a quick access. I can take T's face, and then it comes up where it's selected, and then I can just click on next. And let's see, then you select the picture from an album, and yeah, let's see what can we do with T. And
tonight's episode sponsored by Cut Me In. You can find it on the iTunes store and Amazon.
Yeah, I think it's an unlisted app now.
But be on there.
Look, now T is in The Sound of Music. Just that fast. I've made a meme on the air.
That's great.
So yeah, everybody's like shocked, but there's really no skill involved. I do use Photoshop for the ones that are more involved, like the Animorphs ones that I've done, and anything where I've had to have somebody morphing into something or really elaborate. But yeah,
Some of the ones for Baldwin.
Yeah, my Matt Baldwin ones. Anything that requires a lot of detail and care. Like I have one of Baldwin I need to finish where it's where 50 Cent is at like a stoplight and he laughs and people put Bert in the back seat. Well, I've got one where it's Matt. I took one of his toilet selfies and he's like in the back seat doing that. But there's I
want Baldwin on a toilet that's morphed into a jet ski next to LL Cool J.
See that I could do. That's an elaborate one, but I could do it.
I'd like to see it, a toilet jet ski, just chilling with Cool J.
I've always said that there's nothing in Photoshop I can't do.
Yeah, I like to Photoshop.
It's I've been
any good pictures of Adrian?
No, don't do it. Fuck off.
When his internet gets fixed and we get some crispy high definition.
No, don't do it. Please don't.
Nah.
It's un-Australian.
I only do it. I only do it to the willing. And then what the cool thing about Matt is that he loves the photoshops of him. So
he does.
He's the best sport out there.
Don't meme rape me.
No,
I'm not willing.
The only one I've done of you so far was you as Outback.
Oh yeah, I liked that. That was cool. Yeah. That was cool. I suppose your memes are pretty like well-meaning. They're not like.
Oh yeah.
You don't hurt people.
Yeah, I don't make memes that I wouldn't show the person who's the subject. That's my number one rule.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, I'm in then.
There you go. I mean, if I make it, you'll see it.
Good.
So.
What else is on the list? What do we got?
So we've got another listener question, but I want to save that towards the end because it's a good one. I think that'll be a good one to end the evening on. But we talked about the Goku hitting Otakon. I mentioned that I got the MMC TFCon Toronto exclusive. Actually, I got the bulk of the Toronto exclusives, and the Rangers from SDCC as well as Prom King Primal. And the question I wanted to ask the group tonight is how do we all feel about convention exclusives? Do we like getting them? There's oftentimes a big hassle into getting them. I know a lot of people are sore about the G2 Jazz. What kind of satisfaction we get, and if we have any favorites. So, anybody willing to jump into that one? Adrian, you look like you're ready to come in guns a-blazing.
I got the G2 Jazz. I was pretty happy about that. But I guess it'll vary for me, for you guys, because I can't go to cons. I'm like 23 hours away and $3,000 in airfare, so I can't do it. So I rely on buying them on the internet.
If you were a true fan, you would.
Lend me the money. I'll give it back. Yeah, so I rely on the internet or buddies being like, hey, I really know you like this character. I don't hit people up and ask generally. I have once or twice, but generally I don't. I just sort of hope that it goes to China or something. I missed out on the Turtles. I missed out on a lot of stuff. But, yeah, I don't mind it. I don't hate on it. If it's a new mold, I hope that they use it in the market. If it's a repaint, I'm cool with it. It's fine.
As far as repaints go, like if you're going to do a convention exclusive and it's just a repaint, I don't get too worked up about that. I mean, I know a lot of people do, but the Turtles are an example. It's something that's special.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that's like worthy of being an exclusive and something that's hard to get. If it's just hey, it's in black now. Wait in line for 3 hours, or you can't get it on the internet.
But don't you think on the other side of that coin, for like if a company, well, there's two sides to it, I suppose. The company side where they've spent 10 grand on a mold. I mean, that's their prerogative to do that sort of thing. But then there's guys like me who can't go to the convention, and we miss out on an entire figure, not just a colorway.
See, I kind of agree with Adrian on that. I don't think a convention exclusive should be something that is going to be super sought after, or like the Turtles are a prime example. Like, I think they're fantastic figures. I think they're shit convention exclusives, because I think that's something that needs to be available wide. Yeah, there are so many people out there that didn't get that set that probably like dreamed about it. Yeah. Especially when the bigger the quarter scale Turtles came out, and I'm sure most people said, I hope they offer this in 6-inch scale.
Yeah.
And now they do, and it's freaking impossible to get them now without paying through the nose. Where I think like the G2 Jazz is a good example of a convention exclusive, because it's a really cool item, but it's not a God damn it, I have to have this. I got to spend all the money to get it.
You can get down
right. You can get the original release, when it was available. Yeah. But that's a better example of an exclusive. That's or like the He-Man, the Captain Adam, or Jesus Christ, Captain Adam, the Prince Adam, the Prince Adam, the Laughing Adam. Yeah, like that's like a niche thing that only people that A, like He-Man, and B, are really into memes, Jordan, can get, or that will want to get. And that's a good idea too. That's something where you can look at it and be like, oh, that's really cool, they did that, but I'll pass. But while you're there, you'd be like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to pick this up and get it. I don't know. That makes more sense. I just don't think the convention exclusives that are super hard to get should be the norm if it's something that's widely wanted by the fandoms.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hasbro's Transformer exclusives have been nice exclusives, like that Prom King Optimus Primal, but you don't have to have him because he's not the normal colors. But now the Marvel Legends exclusive, everybody wanted Iron Fist. Even if they don't like the show, they wanted that figure. And now he's part of a set that you have to get through the convention.
I missed that. What was good about that Iron Fist that everybody wanted?
It's just that he's not out. He's only in an exclusive set.
So will he be out?
Probably eventually announced anything.
Okay.
I think anyone who spends money on a new mold, like the Turtles and this Iron Fist, they have to release it. It's not financially viable. It costs a lot. It's a minimum $10,000 for a small run without paint.
Yeah, and Luke Cage is in 2 different sets, but one of them's not exclusive, I don't think.
Like, going back to the Turtles, though, do you think they really made money on the Turtles?
But do you think they want to, is the question?
Well, I know they would want to, but they may not be able to. They might. People wanted it, and maybe this was their way to get it in limited quantity.
How
as
much
a
was the
set.
retail on those turtles? How much did the turtles
125.
retail you? Okay, 125.
For
Average,
four
and there was
figures.
4 of them. Average NECA figure is about $25 retail.
Yeah,
Correct?
they didn't
So
come that with that much.
they're only
could-
$7 more.
They could sell these things for $40 easy as individual figures on the shelf, and people would buy them.
They will.
But-
I'm telling you, they will.
I think you're right. I think they will.
I think they'll be 29.
Whatever
Well,
they
they did-
are, they're going to market.
They did 2 rounds of the turtles that were the animated and the video games. I remember that. Same with the foot soldiers and Shredder.
I hope they do a Shredder in this scale, and I want a Splinter.
But I'm saying,
Yeah, they have to. Bebop, Rocksteady, it'll all happen.
Would you get a Kino?
You know, it's funny. I looked up an article to see how Ernie Reyes Jr.'s health was doing today.
And
So funny.
I mean, so far he's doing okay. I don't think he's had his kidney transplant yet. But
is that a threat?
no. He's got bad kidneys. There's a GoFundMe for helping him get a transplant.
I can't remember who Kino is.
Oh,
Delivered pizza.
The second movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was in the first. He was
the little boy at the beginning.
Yeah.
Ernie Reyes Jr. was the little kid who did karate in almost every movie in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then after the Turtles, he got so much crap talked to him about that he left Hollywood altogether and just toured the fight scene. And was winning.
He did Surf
That's
Ninjas.
pretty cool.
Oh, okay, maybe it was Surf Ninjas, but it was like one of those movies that he got laughed at so bad that people were just like, he's just like, you know what? I'm going to show you I am the real deal. And he
This
started
was-
doing...
This is
started
before
doing,
Twitter.
Yeah.
He was getting out of beast before Twitter.
That's cool.
But he I know he used to do a lot of the martial art tournaments, whether in fighting, not like cage fighting, but fighting stuff, or and also doing forms, but actually doing like real, like the true martial art demonstrations. And then he came back in The Rundown. I think that was the last thing I saw him in, where he actually beat up The Rock.
I still have to watch that.
It's a short movie. Too. It's like
we-
70 minutes.
That's a
Can
great
we
movie.
do you guys mind talking about properties for one sec? Like in regards to these turtles, let's just say, or Voltron.
Yeah.
There were all these rumors that when SOC finished their Voltron run and then Icarus had it and all this stuff, the fandom likes to sort of justify what's going on and make approximations about, oh, well, it must be this, it must be that. But it's not always the case where you license a property for, like Icarus has the license now, so therefore Bandai can't make a figure. I don't believe that the Ninja Turtles or Voltron work that way. I think just like any other property, you're leasing them for a period of time or for a product that's limited to, say, scale or something like that.
Who made the last?
Sorry?
I was going to say, who made the last movie Turtles? The ones that were Walmart exclusives? You guys remember those?
Playmates.
It was Playmates? Okay.
These. Are you talking about this one? This is the last one that I got. That's a movie turtle.
Yep, those with the creepy.
And they did a reissue. And they did a reissue of those about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I got mine in Toys R Us.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Because
Very
it's
terrible.
Definitely Playmates. Yep.
Those were Secret of the Ooze, and these are the first movie. So you kind of have to wonder, does Playmates have any interest in revisiting those? You know, especially now that they're doing yet another cartoon and doing that line. And,
Don't mention that. They're not doing another cartoon.
If they do,
This is it. Almost like I'm holding 2 of the same figure.
It's amazing.
Oh, the likeness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want those so bad, those NECA turtles.
Me too.
Well, kind of going back on topic. I mean, it's like you were mentioning with what T-Man was mentioning with Hasbro. I mean, for me, I always thought the convention, an exclusive should always be a cool to have as opposed to a need to have.
Yeah.
I can't remember when it was, but it was back when the Classics line was coming out for Transformers, and the Coneheads were all exclusives. For a while, everyone thought that the Coneheads were only going to be a convention exclusive. And then they finally got released about like 8 months later, and that was like they call that the seeker angst about that.
Yeah.
And they were released in Japan too, and not here.
So when it's a need to have, I mean, like, when you look at the Hasbro, the Marvel Legends ones, I go through this. I think I look at the sets. You mentioned Iron Fist. I mean, Iron Fist actually, the only new part he had on him was just his head because he's using the Bruce Banner body. The Colleen Wing is actually the new mold. But I look at the previous ones. The Thor set, it had Ulik the Troll and Boar. Those guys haven't been released yet. But then you had the Raph set, which had pretty much everyone released except for Purple Man. Then the Abomination set, and the Sandmans end up becoming Build-A-Figures. So Hasbro actually ends up integrating a lot of the characters and leaving like one of the B or D list characters as the exclusive.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. My completionist isn't going. But when they do an exclusive of like, hey, this is just because we're mentioning Voltron, imagine if the Blue Line was only a convention exclusive.
Oh God, yeah.
I'd sacrifice children to get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
Well, that's what happened at a JoeCon. They had an exclusive figure, and like people were like shoving kids out of the way for them.
I'll shove kids for no good reason.
Let's say when I was at Star Wars Celebration last year, that the Luke and the TIE Fighter costume, that was a hard one to get. And the way Hasbro had it set up was really, really rough. Like you had to get there first thing in the morning. We're talking like before the convention actually opened up in order to get your ticket. And the ticket was to stand in line to see if you could get one. They had plenty for everybody, but they were only letting 200 people a day. If memory serves correctly, 200 people a day buy it.
So they're just being dicks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they had plenty, and then.
So what?
But now they're reissuing it.
Item
yeah, exactly, and that's the point. Like that you made, Dave. It's like everybody had that fear of missing out, and just like with the cone heads, eventually, if you wait, Hasbro especially, they know people are willing to spend their monay.
I'm hoping the Playmates is going to redo that SDCC Voltron with the big freaking wings. That laser Voltron, because I freaking like those wings. But
that's the thing. So when it comes to how bad you want something, is it exclusive and you need it versus you'd like to have it, and even though there's a lot of salt for the people that didn't get it, for the people that did get it, it's something really special. Whereas if it maybe was more available, it might not be that special.
So how would you feel if you went to Comic-Con or wherever, got your turtles, you were super happy with them, and then 6 months later they drop at Target for say $20 more?
Well, it's not just
Wouldn't
that.
be upset about that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't?
It's not that I don't want anyone to have them. I want everyone. They're great. That's why I made sure Matt got his set, because I want everyone to have them.
You didn't make sure I got a set. I'm just saying.
Two only. They were limited.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm a person too, Joe.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, everyone wants to get it, and I want everyone to get it because I want everyone to share. That's what this whole hobby and lifestyle is about. Is you want everyone to share the things that you love too.
Should, you should send me.
I don't mind if people if people get access to it early. And it's hard to get, and it makes it that special. And
okay,
it does come out later down the road.
All right, so
I have a different point of view.
Early access. Sorry to cut you off. Go on.
No, that's fine. We're good.
Let me interject something about the turtles real quickly. Maybe it's not so much in this case about the figures as it is say they do roll out into Target or GameStop or whatever in 6 months. It wouldn't then be the turtles itself. It would be
that packaging.
The set. Yeah.
Again, Hasbro does amazing packaging with their Marvel Legends exclusive. I would love that Defender set, and I would never open it. I think it looks absolutely awesome in that set. The last set looked good with that.
They did good packaging for Prom King Primal here. This is
that's a nice box.
This is a really cool box.
It's even articulated, right?
It is the wheel on there. Mine unfortunately is dinged up, but
you can send that one to me.
No.
How well did a Prime Master sit there?
They I needed a spudger to get them out. That's how well they sit in there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm a big fan of MMC, and I like the way that MMC does their exclusives. I know, as you guys were saying, the obscure repaints, doing things that are cool for the convention. Like I got both the TFCon Toronto exclusives, and they're neat. I think that anybody that picked it up at the convention, it's a neat souvenir of something that was released there. They got it before anybody else. They made enough for anybody that was interested outside the convention to get it at a higher price, which I think is fair. And I like the way that they went about it. Now with Make Toys, I think limiting the Jazz to 200 pieces is kind of ridiculous, because it created a kind of an environment for scalpers, and that Jazz is now unfortunately in the aftermarket going for $400 or $500. I hope that it's just kind of the packaging that, they did that clamshell packaging, and they may give people the opportunity to own it with different packaging down the line. Because
that's $500.
Yeah, it's $500 on eBay.
I got one for sale. That's crazy.
See
Yeah,
if you get someone can trade you their turtles. See if you get someone to trade you their turtles for that.
SOC Voltron, and I'll give you some money.
Yeah, looking it up right now. Buy it now, $349, $350. There's only 2 on there now, but there were more. And for me, when one of the things that I asked was, how do you feel about the hunt? This was one where I really wanted to get it, and I know you and I were talking about maybe having connections, and I got to give a shout out to my buddy Greg from Mercy. He made mention that our friend Oscar was there, and Oscar was really cool about coordinating getting me one. I talked to Brandon from the Chosen Prime. Shout out to him, good dude. He let me pay him through PayPal and let Oscar get mine back. And I feel really, really fortunate because I have a small G2 collection for the masterpiece scale. I've got a G2 Prime, Grimlock, Bumblebee, Sideswipe, and now a Jazz. And it's really awesome to have all those. So, for me, it's one that there's a story to go along with it, friends coming through, and it makes that exclusive kind of have all the more meaning. Whereas Prom King Primal, it's a cool box, but there's really no story other than I went on Hasbro Toy Shop when it was available, and I was fortunate enough to get one. Whereas Deluxe had a friend at SDCC who helped him get his, so for him, his has that kind of tail to go along with it, and there's kind of some another layer of sentimental value that goes along with the exclusive. And I think that's kind of the magic of exclusives, and also the kind of the downside of them as well, especially when you're doing a character that's like a core character. I have no doubt that that they'll do like more of those Defenders. They'll probably have them a bit more available on Hasbro Toy Shop.
Oh yeah, no, they've got plenty of it.
Yeah. Oop, you went silent there.
Sorry. But let's say like Luke Cage, he's coming out with a 2-pack. Pretty much everyone is coming out with somebody. I think even the Iron Fist is coming out. The only one I know from that one, I think, is the Colin Wing. Yeah, she is the whole new mold. But I was saying before, like Hasbro does a great job with that packaging, and even if all 5 of all those characters getting reissued, just the fact like that packaging is a cool exclusive.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
I actually think that the regular Optimal Optimus is going to be harder to get than the Throne of the Primes version, to be honest. Just the way Hasbro's
North Carolina? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for the convention exclusives. Let's see.
I just broke the figure.
Uh-oh, what'd you break?
Which one?
I just fucking touched the arm, and it just broke off.
Ah.
Are you sure it's not like arm firing action?
It's not. KFC doesn't do arm firing.
Yeah. So I've got all 3 versions of, I guess 3 of the 4 versions. I don't have the pure red version of Transistor, and the only one I had a problem with was the twin cast version. Was when I got him, his foot was hanging on by a thread, and I had to get in touch with Keith, but he had no issues sending me a part.
I bought this from Keith. Hopefully, he'll be cool about it.
Yeah, he ought to be fine if he,
Holy crap! Once you saw him this video,
it broke on the air.
He'll never talk to me again.
I blame the project manager.
So I think before we get out here, we get there's some Transformers news, but it's all Cyberverse. I don't think that it's worth talking about. But our friend of the show, Eyes Covered, sent in a question. I think it kind of tails off on what we were just talking about with exclusives and repaints. But he asks, MMC's on board with the trend of anime repaints like Sphinx. Are there any other third parties that should do this? And kind of go in line with what Takara is doing with the Plus and the new Masterpiece figures that are slavish to the cartoon. And I can operate in this and say I'd like to see Fans Toys certainly do some anime decos, but not just Fans Toys. I'd like to see Make Toys do it as well. And I guess Make Toys had done it with Meteor, but I would certainly buy a Downbeat if they could do it in like the cartoon colors. How about you guys?
Fans Toys has already been doing the anime colors with the Dinobots, at least.
With the Dinobots, yeah, but if you look at Dracula, he's a bit off, especially the wings.
I'm looking at them.
What do you feel about, like, speaking of colors being a little bit off, they release a figure and the colors are off, and then later they say, oh well, here's the premium color version, here's the plus, and it's like, just make it right the first time,
or give us both options.
I kind of like having with like Prowl and Wheeljack, because I'm an insane person. I like having the more realistic cars to be my alt mode, because I want kind of like to retread the season 1 and season 2 stuff. Like if Hasbro or Takara comes out with a Huffer, I'll keep my third party, my Bad Cube one as the alt mode, or whichever one has the better robot mode or better alt mode will be the winner. Because I'd like to have the season 1 and season 2 Decepticons and Autobots in their alt modes for my display. So it's not that big of a deal for me. Like the Plus version of Shockwave, I think to me, that's more how I remember him in the cartoon, and that's why I'm getting him. But yeah, it does suck for people that like, especially in the case, I think of Wheeljack. I think that the new deco looks a lot better. I don't know how you guys feel, but
I'm iffy on it.
I think the bot mode looks better. The alt mode, the old one looks better.
Yeah, and that's for me. I think the alt mode of the old one, it'll be nice to have that as a car display. I know with like Sideswipe and Red Alert, they got much crisper paint jobs, and but the old ones suffice for their Lamborghini molds for me. I got rid of the Bad Cube ones.
I still got them.
You got the Takara ones or the Bad Cube ones?
Yes, I got them both.
Oh well, power to you. Then you can probably put the Takara ones in their alt mode. I think that
what was the first plus for Hasbro Takara? What was the first one?
Red Alert.
Yeah,
it was Red Alert. So it makes me wonder then if any third-party figures and anything planned since then, if the companies have had that transition in mind while they design these things and release them, if they see the trend going from the toy to the animation accuracy, if that factors in now, and there won't be a need for a plus version because they're going to incorporate that now.
Yeah. Make Toys almost got it wrong with Skycrow. The
that
black
last minute hand save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This guy comes to mind for me for with Bad Cube.
Oh
The
yeah.
bombshell. This was one of the few ones that had fun of being anime accurate because in his bug mode, it's all purple and black, but in the anime, it inexplicably turned gray, and they put that in his transformation, which I thought was the coolest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Fans Toys one. Yeah, my OCD made me sell mine to T.
Well, yeah, because Fans Toys, it was replaceable panels, but I love the fact that Bad Cube actually put it in their transformation.
Oh, it's not replaceable panels. It's one of the other.
Yeah. Okay. But you get what I'm saying. So when they talk about a third party, I actually think Bad Cube was ahead of the game on that. I mean, Cubic and Huffer were both animation accurate. Sun Surge looked good. I mean, it did end up replacing with the Takara one.
I still own my Sun Surge.
Oh, I'm sorry. In my display, I still got. Will you quit that? Wrong show. But yeah, I think of the third parties, Bad Cube actually the first people to go more anime accurate than the others. Just for literally with this guy right here.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing too is those things don't have the tolerance issues that the Fans Toys have. I think that the Bad Cube Evil Bug Core are really underrated.
That's the one I bought, and you've heard my rants about Fans Toys, so.
Yeah, I had to. I love the way they look, but I'm not the biggest fan of handling them. I have a very differing opinion of the Dracula than a lot of people. I think mine needed a lot of fixes, and it had a lot of QC issues. I still think if it had the tolerances worked out, it would have been their best release in a while. But for me, I'd take a lot of points off. If I had to break out shock oil, it's like the opposite of Keith. It's like Keith has stuff that's too loose. Fans Toys has stuff that's too tight.
I need two girls like that. Anyway, different conversation.
Mm-hmm. As far as the question of should third parties do plus versions, to me, I think no. Like if they already released the figure, should they do a plus version now? I say no because Takara told me is starting to bring all those figures out now, and everybody wants those. So why waste the time?
See, I'm more interested in stuff like comic versions. Like I want a comic version of Galvatron. So I'd like for Fans Toys to do Sovereign in that gray color scheme.
I've always disliked that.
See, that's like one where like a lot of people like want their swoop to be red. I had movie Galvatron, and I had that gray colored toy, and for me that was my Galvatron, and I dig those colors. It's kind of like I'm gonna get that comic upgrade kit for Power Baser, so when they decide they're gonna come out with their own Takara Ginrai, I can still justify keeping Power Baser in my collection.
It's weird. I can take the G1 Galvatron toy being that color, but I don't want anything that looks like the cartoon to be that color.
Yeah, fair enough. But if they came out with an alternate head sculpt, I think it'd be worth it. But yeah, I think you're right. I think
that would make a great convention exclusive.
That would. And I think, Fans Toys isn't in the business of doing convention exclusives, but I think that would be, if they did one, that would be an amazing one to do. They tend to just like, maximizing their releases and doing the toy versions and the Diaclone versions. And
maybe we should forward this episode to Fans Toys.
We should.
Definitely don't forward it to KFC. I need this replaced.
we haven't had enough Taobao discussion. Real quick, back onto the repaints. Another one was the repaint that I've been drooling over, that green Megazord. I think that's a good one.
Get it! It's already gone up on Taobao.
I know. I was looking at
the price is going up.
I know. But I think I found a house that I like, and I got to go see it.
It was $180 US, and now it's something like $250, and some sellers are higher.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, I do think that for the most part, third-party companies they are very good about being as accurate to the cartoon as possible. The blaster that Adrian's messing with now, I think, is a good example of where they went back, and that is a plus version because the original transistor was this cherry red metallic, and
no, he was first, then cherry red metallic, then the blue, then back to him.
Well, that one's accurate from the episode of Headmasters when he got blasted apart.
Yeah.
Well, the fight with Soundwave.
Yeah, I'm very sad about this, although it was a shit figure. I mean, it was a great figure. I would love to have it back to normal.
Send me extra pieces, please. I love it.
I love it so much. Fuck diecast. Diecast is for chumps.
Right. Well,
it's a lost art.
Yeah, that's a good piece.
Keith will help you out.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he doesn't watch our show.
He always gets me. We actually, I want to see if Keith would appear. I would actually love to talk to him about his philosophies and principles he's got cooking.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he would, but I wouldn't hold your breath.
Nah, I wouldn't either. But I'll ask him. But I think that about does it for this evening. Unless any guys have anything else you want to touch base on for tonight.
That about closes it off.
All right, so we'll go down the line as far as where we can find everybody. Adrian, if anybody wants to reach out to you, where can they find you?
Right here and right here.
Right on. True Star Screamer.
Of course, you can find me on Instagram at True Star Screamer, and that's with a TRU. Hopefully, we'll be getting a few more repaints going up this weekend. Did forget to mention I did repaint the Goblin gliders from Marvel Legends, which turned out great.
Yes, they did.
PlayStation Network, also at True Star Screamer. Just pre-ordered Soul Calibur 6, so bring it. And of course, on the Facebook groups, as my real name, David Lutwack.
Very cool. Well, a quick question: do you think Negan would have been the better fit for Soul Calibur instead of Tekken?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. He would have been fantastic for Soul Calibur.
Yeah, I don't see a weapon character. I mean, Yoshimitsu, yes, but he should be the one-off. Anyway, moving on to Parts Former. Where can people find you, buddy?
Yeah, you can find me on here, Twitter, and Instagram, all is Parts Former, and that's all.
Very cool. Joe, our newest edition, where can people find you?
I am on Instagram, Joe Figure 83, and I am floating around on Facebook. My real name, Joe Crab, with 2 B's.
Right. All right. T-Man, I think everybody knows, but where can they find you?
They might. Just search T-Man978 on anything that's a social media. And if you search me on, and it's T-Man without any dashes or underscores, 978. If you search me on Facebook, and you find my real name, don't try to send me a friend request on there. Look up my like page. I don't put anything on my regular personal page.
Very cool.
But that's it.
Right on. As for me, you can find me in the Facebook groups as James Jordan. You can find me on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live as Extra Zero, on Twitter at The Original Zero, and of course you can find me here every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, unless we have a delay, but 9 p.m. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll see you here next week. Peace.
See you.
Later.
Right.